You're on the road with Noble Outfitters, and here we are today in Houston, Texas. Normally you see us out in the country or we're visiting a small farm and feed or tack shop. Today, we're in the midst of millions of people, and you're gonna see how Charlotte Saddlery has carved out a little niche in this huge metro area and made it look country. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
In the mid-1800s, America was pushing west and expanding at a rate unknown to any previous civilization. Americans pursued their dreams and unlimited opportunity. But they needed food, equipment, seeds, and tack to press on beyond the established cities and towns already settled. Out of this demand, a new retailer was born, the General Store, who handled everything a westward family would need to survive. Today, these retailers provide rural Americans the same materials, service, and expertise that made them invaluable over 150 years ago. Join Noble Outfitters as we rediscover the retailing backbone of America. Hear their story in their own words, how they've not only survived, but actually thrived in the modern world. Come along as we go on the road with Noble Outfitters.
Hi fellas, how are you? I'm
Hey,
Dan.
Tim Raisback.
My pleasure,
Hey,
Tim.
Dan, Mark Raisback.
Mark, how are you?
Good, nice to meet
First
you.
of all, I want to say thank you for selling our products. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
But we're here today to talk about Charlotte Saddlery. And we're here to talk about how in the heck did you create this beautiful island in the middle of the craziness out there and have this beautiful store for people that are involved in equestrian, both English and Western, in the middle of this metroplex. I mean, it's crazy out there.
Well, when we started it, it wasn't in the middle of the metroplex.
Okay, you were out in the country
We
at
were
that
out
time.
in the country.
Very
And
interesting.
the city moved out here.
Well, I understand it's a family operation.
It is.
And I'd love to look around the store a little bit, and I would love to meet the family because I understand that the kids are working, and actually the store's named after your mom, Charlotte.
Correct,
I want to
Charlotte.
hear that story.
Yeah.
You know, I love the family business, the small business. You know, that's what built this country. This country was built, and still today, the backbone of this country is small business.
His mom and pop business.
And
Absolutely.
coming up with family coming up in the business, and I know you've expanded, you have multiple stores. We'd like to talk about that. So please show me around a little bit, and I'd sure like to meet the family.
Good.
Right?
Okay,
Let's do it.
Let's
great.
do it,
Thank
yeah.
you, guys. If you wouldn't mind introducing me to your beautiful family here.
Dan, this is my daughter Lauren,
Lauren, how are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
It's my pleasure.
my wife Missy.
Missy, how are you? And then you have a son as well that
I
works in
do.
your business?
Austin that works at our Austin location.
Austin that works in
Yes, sir.
Austin.
Yeah.
I like that.
The Houston store was first.
Okay.
Our mother Charlotte opened that first store in '77.
That's where Charlotte's came from.
Yes.
So
That's right.
your mom, Charlotte, was an equestrian,
Yes.
and she wanted to open a store. And she did.
She showed horses growing up as a teenager.
Gated horses.
Gated horses.
Matter of fact.
Got out of the horse business. We lived in Kansas City, and both my dad and my mom were in the real estate business. Tim and I were at college in the late 70s, and I remember calling home, probably looking for some more recreational money to be put in my bank account. And I said, you know, what's going on with you and Dad? And she said, great news. We're going to move to Houston and open a tack shop. And I said, huh,
That
what's
was
a
it.
tack shop?
What's a tack shop?
And you weren't a writer.
And was not a writer.
Amazing.
So,
Great.
yeah.
Well, you know, looking back, I think Charlotte might be pretty proud of you guys for what you've done and how you've grown this business and how you've expanded her name.
I think so.
I think she would
I think
be.
she's
That's a
smart.
wonderful thing.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. Well, I'd sure like to look around the store and see what you have here. I understand you have a huge mix between English side and Western side. You actually
We do.
split the store up into two parts because you have both English
Right,
and,
right.
and I also saw that you had some polo equipment here.
Yep, we do
And
some
I'd like
polo.
to
We
talk
do.
a little bit about that. And the other thing is, I'm sure you guys are involved in all kinds of local programs and charities and benefits for, you know, whether it's 4-H or different things. What items do you guys like to get involved in?
We get very involved. There's quite a few therapeutic riding organizations in Houston and Austin, and we support a lot of the horse shows, but we also like to support a lot of the 501Cs that help people with special needs and
That's
disabilities.
becoming a bigger and bigger thing.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
That the
That's getting
therapeutic
real big.
riding is really, they're finding out that it really does help.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
autistic
Yeah.
children, blind, you know, it helps out so many people get a
Any
good,
age, too.
you know, give a good feeling.
A lot of the
themselves.
veterans coming back
Yeah, the veterans.
are riding at these centers.
That's great.
Yeah.
And actually, around our Austin store, there's quite a few programs
Yes.
over there
Oh,
as
That's
well.
great. Well, God bless you for taking care of our vets and supporting those therapeutic riding people. That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Well, that's great. Well, you've done a great job here, and like I said, I'd like to look around the store and see a little bit more. And,
Good.
do.
And thank you for your hospitality. I really
Hey,
appreciate
thank
it.
you
Absolutely,
for
our
coming
pleasure.
in.
You bet.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look around.
All right.
You're on the road with Noble Outfitters. We're in Houston, Texas at Charlotte's Saddlery with Mark and Tim Raisbeck. And they're going to talk to us a little bit about how they take care of their local customer in many different ways, but in one way that's different than what we've seen, except for Florida. We haven't seen any polo stuff in some of the tack shops. So is polo around here?
Polo's around here. We originally opened as an English-only tack store. We realized that in Texas there's quite a bit of Western, and we went into Western, and then we realized there was quite a bit of polo, so we put in a polo department. Tim can probably tell you a little bit about that. He lives out on the west side in Fulshire, Texas, and there are loads of polo fields out there.
You know,
there
I
are.
had no idea. You know, one of the things that's interesting about Texas is it is #1 in livestock in the country. You know, both cattle and horses and livestock in general.
Right.
It's #2 in agriculture for the whole country. So, but on the polo side, you know, I had no idea that polo was big in Texas. And Tim, you said it's actually #2 in the country versus, you know, it's like Wellington.
We're right behind Wellington, but I think as far as clubs go, we are the largest. We're #1.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I didn't know. I bet you our viewers didn't know that either. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So there's lots of polo fields here and tournaments. And
There are. Once again, like Mark was saying, I live in Fulshire, which is about 30 minutes west of here, and we have fields all around us out there. So
do you think any of them need any players right now? I mean, I haven't.
They need players, but you need money.
Speaking of money in polo, it's an interesting sport, right? Because it's basically just based on the fact that you just pay to play, and there's no television rights. There's no like first place, and players get paid by the owner of the club.
owners,
It's
yeah.
kind of like just based on honor, right? So I'm going to play your club, and if we win, you guys got to buy us a beer or whatever, and it costs thousands and thousands of dollars to have this
Oh,
game.
you got to have multiple horses and.
and there's numerous women playing now as well, which probably didn't used to be.
They call it the sport of kings, right?
Sport of Kings.
Yeah, interesting. It seems like you just have pretty much everything for the English rider and the Western rider. So around the store, tell me a little bit about, just from side to side and all around this huge store, what do you have here to offer everybody?
Well, Charlotte's concept was she wanted the customer to walk into, first of all, a tack shop. So we kept the equipment and the saddles up front, so you entered the tack store. Then as the industry has grown, there's all kinds of performance gear and apparel that has entered the industry that's in all the other outerwear sports activities, biking, running, everything you can imagine. So we've gotten into performance outerwear as well as we do the English show clothing, coats, boots, and that sort of thing. We carry the pharmacy. We do a big gift business in the fourth quarter of the year. We add lots of gifts and that sort of thing.
Well, if I know you guys, it won't be long. The next time I come back here, you'll say, yeah, well, we now have Western wear.
Right.
And we now have,
Yes.
And jeans.
yeah, it won't be long.
Exactly.
Won't be long.
Yes.
Well, wonderful. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters, and today we're in Houston, Texas at Charlotte's Saddlery, and I have with me Madison Waller, and you're going to really be interested to spend some time and listen to this young lady, 12 years old, and listen to all the things that she has going on in her life that keeps her very busy. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters, and today's child of tomorrow is Madison Waller. Madison, pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you too.
How old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
Yeah, 12 going on 30. Yeah, I've been talking to you. You got a lot going on. Tell me a little bit about just from when you got started on a horse and when you actually started working and things.
Well, I started as 2 years old, and I was at nationals.
Oh, you waited until you were 2. Okay, that's kind of a little late age to get started, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Well, I was getting on ponies and miniatures at
Birth.
between 9. Yes.
Okay,
sir.
all right. Okay, so
And
2 years old. You started.
nationals and
So tell me, you're nationals at 2 years old.
yes, sir.
Okay, so you're actually on a horse. Is somebody holding you?
I'm
on there?
doing lead line,
Okay.
and it started where I was getting older and doing. At 5 years old, I was doing the 100 jumpers with my ponies, and then I was going to Congress at 8 and 9 years old, and as well as now I'm doing working equitation, 100 jumpers, English, Western pleasure, and all of these wonderful types of riding, and I enjoy it so much, and I have all of these great people to help me out and teach me all of the stuff I need to know and learn more and more about, and there's never any time that you can learn everything.
What's your horse's name?
My recent horse, Diablo.
Diablo.
Yes.
Does that sound? That
That
means devil, right?
yes.
Okay.
But he was as a stallion, he kind of was, but now as he's been gelded, he's actually one of the sweetest horses I've been. He's like a big lap dog, and I love him to death.
All right. And is he the one you jump with?
No, he is my working equitation and dressage horse.
Okay.
And we do some in-hand showmanship and some halter with him.
Okay.
And right now he's just at home relaxing and chilling until are
Until
able
you
to
get him out there and get him going again.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I have another thing to ask you, because you can't just do all those things. You can't ride all those different disciplines and ride the different horses and have started working with the horses when you were just a kid. And it's just, okay, you pop out of bed and someone brushes your hair for you, and you go out to the barn and someone puts you on the horse and someone takes care of you, and then someone takes care of the horse, right? No, you got to do that yourself, okay? So tell me about your workload, because you definitely have to be out there cleaning and mucking stalls and taking care of your horse as well.
Some mornings, depending on the school days, like if we have to get up a little bit earlier for school, my mom will take in on like one of the days out of a week with me, and then on Sundays I'll get up and do it myself sometimes, or we switch out a lot, me and my mom, and we get a little help from my sister, and she helps with the ponies and stuff, and feeding in all the mucking the stalls and everything. I mean, to me, I enjoy that. That means that I'm working for what I'm wanting. And when you work for something hard enough, you're always going to have the good outcome.
Yeah.
But when you're not working for something hard enough, some people get what they want, and then most of the time they don't feel good about it. It's
Because it was given to
it was
them.
just given.
I love that. Anyway, I think I think the parents need to get involved, and I appreciate your mom getting you out there early doing all kinds of great stuff. And what's your mom's name?
Ashley.
Ashley. Well, I can tell you something. Ashley's a sweet lady to spend the time with you that she has and encourage you to do the things that you've done. And moms are great, aren't they?
Yes, I appreciate my mom. She's actually what got me started in my horses, and she got me my first miniature, and I kind of grew up with a miniature, and as I was 3 and 4 years old, I kind of got into ponies, and then I got into horses, and then now I'm standing here because of her.
Well, that's a wonderful thing. Moms are great. I love mine. She taught me early on how to work hard, and I used to clean house when I was 8, 9 years old and help her. She'd give me $1, and I think, oh man, that's the greatest thing ever. I can go to the store and buy some candy, and that encouragement. I think that's what the parents need to learn today and talk about. So I want you to start your bank account. I got a little gift for you. Got a crisp $100 bill here. You like that? Yeah, everybody likes cash. Yeah. All right, so I want you to take this, and I want you to start your bank account. And I want you to remember me, and remember that Dan said you got to start your bank account early. That's what I did when I was young. I put all my money in the bank. I saved up. I opened my first restaurant when I was 21 years old, and I kept expanding and kept growing. And it's because in America you can do whatever you want, and you've just got to work hard, save your money, keep your nose clean, be at it every day, and you'll do whatever you want. So I want you to get that bank account started, and remember me and keep in touch with me.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Wow, I got a little hug. Wow, that's nice. Pleasure meeting you, sweetheart.
Pleasure meeting you too.
You're on the road with Noble Outfitters, and this week's recipe of the week, you will meet Dennis Henderson from Cisco's Salsa Company. We're gonna have a little Tex-Mex, but it all started in California. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. I'd like to introduce Dennis Henderson from Cisco's Salsa.
Good to meet you, sir.
Pleasure to meet you. You know I'm a chef.
Yeah, you told me that.
Just 25 years back in the back of that kitchen, okay? So I know what you go through. I appreciate it, but I want you to tell the story. It's kind of funny that you're not really a chef, and you didn't start out young going into the restaurant business. You came about it from the top, and when you were older, and after you'd moved out to Texas. So tell me about that.
Well, we were originally from California. My wife Laura and I trained horses, and we moved to Texas in '96.
Mm-hmm.
And so I miss California food.
Yeah.
I love Tex-Mex, but I missed.
Well, in California, we have tons of Mexican food because we're close to the border. Same thing here.
Right.
But we're close to the border there. We have a ton of great Mexican restaurants in that area. So yeah, I mean it's everywhere, and you get used to it and you love it.
Well, we do a little different twist because everything we do is fresh.
Okay.
We make our own sweet and sour for our margaritas. The kitchen is done fresh every day.
Wow.
Salsa made fresh every day.
Do you happen to bring a margarita with you?
No, unfortunately, I didn't want to get busted on the way.
Okay. Next time.
Yeah. But we got a little white building, just 2 houses stuck together. From there, we got a big patio. We have entertainment on Friday and Saturday nights. Live entertainment. We have absolutely the best food in town.
That's great. So tell me, who's the cook? Who started the cooking?
Well, my wife's family has done this in California for 42 years.
Okay, so you had a little backup there.
Well, I was very fortunate, but the first year we opened the restaurant, she didn't like me very well because she was putting in 70, 80 hours a week.
That's the restaurant business.
Yes, as you know, you're in the business.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah. So, and I was lucky enough to continue training horses.
Yeah.
But I helped out a little bit there, not in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But
so you decided to open the restaurant.
It was, yeah.
And asked your wife to help you, and then she's going to be the cook.
Well, no, she's not the cook. We
Okay.
had cooks, and we had some people that came from California to work with us out of the stores in California to get it started.
It's a wonder you're still married.
Oh, she's amazing. That's all I can say.
Working in the restaurant business is like a sentence,
Absolutely.
But it's a great business. I loved it. It was a wonderful business for me. I was able to take care of my customer, every day, and just build my business, build my reputation, and it was how I got started. So I have a fond feeling for the restaurant business.
Well, you talk about building a business. All of my horse trainer friends, when we opened it, we were on a little side street. Nobody even knew we were there.
Yeah.
all my horse trainer friends would start coming in. Their clients would come in.
They start spreading the word.
And the horse business really got the restaurant going.
Absolutely. Isn't that
So
great?
we were very
hey,
lucky.
Hey, that's America, right? So tell me a little bit about what we have here.
Well, we've got black beans with pico de gallo in it, Spanish rice. We have
Big D, that's some good rice.
2 fish tacos, beer battered, and I brought the recipe. And this is one of our biggest sellers in the restaurant, are the fish tacos.
Wow. You know, thinking about it though, people just think rice is just rice, right?
Absolutely.
But this rice has a tremendous flavor, a background flavor. You know, so somebody has really thought about making that rice perfect. Same thing with the beans. I mean, beans actually, if you don't do them right, beans could taste terrible.
Well, they
You know,
have no taste if you don't.
exactly. You just put some beans in some water and boil them, and you've got some pretty bad tasting stuff.
You
So
got it.
you really got to figure out how to make them taste good. So then on the fish taco, what kind of fish do you use?
We use cod and a beer batter, and we put red cabbage.
But it's like a marinated red cabbage.
Right. Well, no. What you're tasting is we've got pickled onions.
Okay, is that the pickled
and
onion?
you're tasting the pickled onion. So yeah, this is basically what we do. We're very fortunate. The business has grown, and we're tickled to death.
You know, every week we share our recipe with our viewers. Do you mind if we share your recipes?
Absolutely not. Just
Good,
Right
because
there.
we like doing that because we'd love for them to be able to duplicate this at home. So all of our recipes, you can go to nobleoutfitters.com/RFDTV, find all of our recipes online from the shows. And I'm guaranteeing you, go and look at this recipe and figure out how to make this one at home. Your family is going to love it. Big D, thank you very much.
thank you for having
taking
me. I
the
really
time to come
appreciate
over
it.
here and
Oh, I loved it. Thank you.
and giving me lunch. This is beautiful. Love meeting a fellow restaurateur.
Well, my wife's really the restaurateur, but
One of these days I'd like to meet her. If I come over, you buy me a margarita?
I'll buy you 2.
Oh, you buy me 2, I might stay all day.
Well, that'll work.
All right, buddy.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
You're on the road with Noble Outfitters. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters, and I just want to say a big thank you to the folks here at Charlotte Saddlery from Houston, Texas, for showing us some wonderful hospitality, a beautiful store, and all the wonderful things that they do for their local community. Visit them on their own website, which you can see below, and also check them out on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you again from Charlotte Saddlery in Houston, Texas. See you next week. You never know where we're going to be next. Bye-bye. How old are you, Lauren?
30.
Okay, are the questions coming a little too quick for you? Okay.
You said
She doesn't like that age.
I just turned 30.
Okay, here's what I want to do.
I don't have any cilantro in my teeth, do I?
I want you to throw it out.